Thank you so much for being here today. I am State Senator Nabilah Islam Parks, and I'm here today with Rachel Kent and her son Sterling. They rely on food assistance from SNAP benefits. We're also here with Alicia Rivera, who is with Georgia Feeding Families, a food bank in Georgia, and also my former colleague, State Senator Jason Esteves. In just a matter of days, nearly 1.4 million Georgians, including over 640,000 children, could lose access to the food they depend on through SNAP. This is not some distant policy debate. This is a humanitarian crisis, unfolding in real time and on our watch. Let me be clear, food is not optional. This is not about politics. This is about children eating dinner. This is about seniors being able to take their medicine with food. This is about parents not having to choose between groceries or gas to get to work. Georgia is blessed to have $14.6 billion in a surplus. What we have is what we need, and we have it to protect these families. We just need the will to do it. And that's why we're calling on Governor Kemp to declare a state of emergency. Let's get Georgia families the food assistance they need. Governor, you often say we are the #1 state to do business, but we must also be the #1 state for families, for children, for seniors. Let's show that economic strength is not something we brag about. It is something we use to take care of our own. We are here to extend a hand and come up with solutions. And it is time for all of us to step up and do what Georgians always do in a crisis. We roll up our sleeves, we pull together, and we get the job done. If other Republican states can step up, then the #1 state for business can step up too. Because the strongest workforce in America can't work if their kids are hungry. Governor, you are one of the most powerful governors in this country, and I know if you want this fixed, you will find a way. And we are ready, we stand ready to help you. Democrats are here, legislators are here, community partners like Feeding Georgia Families are here. We are ready today, not tomorrow, today. Let's do what Georgia deserves. Let's protect our kids, let's honor our seniors, and let's fight for every family who simply wants to put food on the table. Governor Kemp, call for a state of emergency. Let's do this together because Georgia families are worth fighting for. Thank you, and let's get to work. Next, I'm going to have Rachel Kent speak about her story, and she will also be standing with her son Sterling.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Thank you all for being here today. It's an honor to speak alongside Senator Jason Esteves, Senator Nabilah Islam Parks, and Ms. Alicia Rivera. My name is Rachel Kent. I'm a proud single mom of my son Sterling, who's with me today. He's a freshman in high school, a straight-A student, and a percussionist in the marching band. I'm so proud of him. But looking at us, you may not know the struggles our family faces. But I'm here today because I'm one of the nearly 1.4 million Georgians who rely on SNAP to put food on the table. And come Saturday, this critical food assistance program will end for us, for millions who need it, with no relief in sight. We don't know how long this suspension will last. And I want to be very clear about who's at fault here. President Donald J. Trump and the Republicans, who shut down the federal government. And now our governor, Brian Kemp, has an opportunity to fill in the gap and make sure families like mine don't go hungry. But you know what? He's refusing. Georgia has a rainy day fund, but for many of us, it's already raining. Families are doing everything right, applying for jobs, caring for children, recovering from illnesses or disabilities, and still, it's not enough. SNAP isn't a choice for my son and I. It's survival. Brian Kemp and many politicians need to use Georgia's surplus to help SNAP families now. Too many of our leaders don't know what it's like to check the pantry before payday, to stretch $10 across the week, or to send a child to bed after another long day of trying. We're tired. Many of the politicians were born with silver spoons in their mouths, and now they tell the rest of us how to survive with plastic forks? Ain't right. But we're not asking for pity. No, we're asking for perspective. We're not asking for handouts. We're asking for a hand up. SNAP is a lifeline. It's how working families survive between paychecks. It's how single parents like me feed their kids when the world tells them to do the impossible. Our Governor, Brian Kemp, is supposed to support hardworking Georgians, but instead, not just the powerful, not just the comfortable, but all of us. The parents trying to feed their families, the laid off workers looking for one chance to start again, and the people who still believe in hard work, even when the jobs have vanished. Georgia's leaders need to remember who they serve, because we, the people of the United States of America, the ones who struggle, who keep trying, who never give up, we're still here. And we, the people, deserve to be heard. So Governor Kemp, please take action now to protect families and fund SNAP on November 1st. This isn't about politics. This is about the people. Because hunger doesn't care about party lines. Thank you.
We're aware that starting this Saturday, 1 in 8 Georgians will lose SNAP benefits. That's millions of working families who rely on this aid to put food on the table. We have even more families impacted by the shutdown that are in need this year. Since last evening, I've received 4 phone calls from nonprofits, food pantries that are requesting additional food. They've seen an increase of 25 to 50% of families requesting additional help for Thanksgiving. And we're stretching ourselves thin trying to meet those needs. We're working diligently to reach these families and offer the support that they need. This is a crisis that we must face together. Our team and partners, as well as fellow nonprofits, are doing all that we can by adding additional food distributions throughout the state, bringing Feeding Georgia families mobile pantries directly to communities, and serving seniors and families without transportation. We are hopeful that we can unite as food banks, resource centers, and the government to provide urgent action. The use of emergency funds, as well as providing immediate additional support to our existing systems, can ensure that no Georgian goes hungry. And that is our mission at Feeding Georgia Families, from our family to yours, is to ensure that whoever's in need the most are cared for and provided for in this time.
Good morning, everyone, and good morning, Midtown International School. I want to start by thanking Senator Nabilah Islam for her leadership during this critical time, and I want to thank Ms. Alicia Rivera and Feeding Georgia Families for the work that y'all are doing in the community every day. And I want to pay particular homage and respect to Rachel Kent and her son for being here and speaking up and speaking out in the face of silence from Governor Kemp and Republican state leaders, as millions of Georgians are on track to lose critical SNAP benefits on Saturday. My name is Jason Esteves, and I'm running to be the next governor of the state of Georgia because Georgians deserve better than the leadership that they are getting at this critical moment. I'm a former educator, school board member in Atlanta Public Schools, and a state senator. And every day in each of these roles, I've seen how our kids are being left behind, mainly because of where they live. Kids would come to school hungry or sick, and that meant that they couldn't focus on the one thing that they were supposed to be focused on, which is learning. SNAP helps millions of kids and their families put food on the table, and I've seen it firsthand. It's an essential program, and without it, children across this state will go hungry. I think about counties like Hancock County, where 1 in 2 children are food insecure. SNAP expiring on Saturday will be terrible for those children who are already in crisis. But I also want to point out that there's a misconception about who is on SNAP benefits. It's Georgians like Rachel. It's Georgians who are working in our kitchens, in our restaurants, in our ag industry. 1 in 4 cooks around the state are on SNAP. 1 in 4 nursing aides, cashiers, dishwashers. 1 in 5 agriculture workers and hairdressers are on SNAP. This is another way for these hardworking Georgians to make ends meet. So I want to be clear. Donald Trump and Republicans are at fault here. They shut down the federal government because they did not want to address the health care for Georgians across this state. And they did it without no regard for Georgia's children or their families. And now with SNAP benefits on track to run out on Saturday, Republicans in the federal and state governments are refusing to address this problem. As has already been stated, 1.4 million Georgians rely on SNAP. So why won't Donald Trump and Brian Kemp act to ensure that 1 in 8 Georgians don't go hungry? These are reckless political games. It's lawless, it's outrageous, and above all, it's cruel. After previously saying that they would continue SNAP through federal government funding, Donald Trump is reversing course, and they're refusing to use critical contingency funds to provide a lifeline for hardworking people across this state. But let me be clear, it's not just the Trump administration. Our own governor, Brian Kemp, is sitting on his hands while his own constituents are in crisis. And there's so much that he can do. For starters, over 22 states have joined together to sue the Trump administration's horrific SNAP freeze. Brian Kemp and Chris Carr refused to join that lawsuit. I think about our hardworking men and women in the National Guard who could very easily be mobilized to help pantries across this state to meet the needs of Georgians. But instead, right now, they're in Washington, D.C., doing landscaping and picking up trash. And look, y'all, as Senator Islam said, our state has $4.6 billion sitting in a bank account that can be used for dire times such as these. This is exactly what this money should be used for, helping Georgians when they are most in need. When Kemp says that there is no mechanism to fill in the funding gaps, he's just refusing his responsibility. In fact, Governor Kemp has released state funds before in times of crisis. He can do it again, but he's choosing not to. And I can tell you that when I'm governor, I won't hesitate to use funds when Georgians are in need of urgent relief. Republicans like Brian Kemp, Burt Jones, and Chris Carr didn't flinch when it came to handing out billions of dollars to big out-of-state corporations. But now when it comes to urgent relief for hardworking people in this state, they are nowhere to be found. And unlike state Republican leaders, we are standing here to take action, and I will do so when I'm governor. In times of crisis, I don't stay silent. I take the challenge head on. And when I'm governor, if the Trump administration makes any move that hurts Georgians, you can count on me to stand tall and to fight back. Y'all, there is no excuse. It is time for action, and I call on Brian Kemp to protect families and ensure that Georgians can keep food on their table. So to the struggling Georgians all across this state, to folks like Rachel, in the face of these cuts and uncertainty, I tell you that I am standing with you. We are standing with you. And here's what y'all can do right now. First, keep using any funds that you have on your card because existing EBT balances will continue to work. Reach out to your local food bank, to Feeding Georgia Families, to churches, to school districts, to community organizations that are providing resources at this time. You can go to feedingamerica.org and put in your zip code, and it will provide food banks in your area that are providing critical resources. And Ms. Alicia Rivera, thank you so much for being here on behalf of Feeding Georgia. To the Georgians who have the resources to spare, I encourage you to support organizations like Feeding Georgia that are doing the work on the ground. Y'all, here's my commitment to you. I will always put Georgians' health, wealth, and opportunity first as governor. It's what I've done throughout my whole career, and no matter what attacks Trump and Republicans throw our way, I'll continue to fight for you. Thank you so much, and with that, we'll entertain any questions. Yes.
Senator Islam Parks, if the governor were to declare a state of emergency, what do you want him to do?
Well, what other states like Virginia and Louisiana have done, use their state surpluses to do direct cash assistance to SNAP recipients. And I know that he's saying, well, there's technical difficulties, but he's the governor of Georgia. I'm asking him to figure it out and get the billions and billions of dollars that we have in a surplus, and to get that, we can take that and actually help Georgians. We are not a state that's in a deficit. We have a surplus. We can use it, and it's up to the governor to do so.
Hi, can you repeat that question, please? So basically, when I became a single mother, so kind of give backstory, I have a college degree, but when you're a parent, married, you become the homemaker. So when I got divorced and became a single parent, getting a job has been extremely difficult. My degree is political science. And so I had to do the survival and get on food stamps. How long I've been on it? For about 6 months. It's still hard getting a job, and my experience has been great. I mean, you don't get a ton. That's the thing, what the misconception people have. Just for my son and I, get like $300 a month on it. It's like nothing. It's not. I'm put it this way. I'm thankful for everything I get on it, but the way groceries are, you can't get a lot. And I like to cook from scratch too. I think that it's the most beneficial thing. There's a lot of people on food stamps. A neighbor could be on food stamps and they could be living in $1 million house. You would never know. But we judge way too much. I think that's my main thing, is we got to quit judging people and help people more. Sorry.
Rachel, how are you preparing for what's coming, next week, possibly for the next month?
So I'm preparing what my grandmother had taught me a long time ago. She used to say to me, you have money one day, gone the next. Always prepared, have your pantry full of canned goods, flour. So I stocked up on that because, again, I grew up with Appalachian culture, so I learned a lot from how to cook when you don't have a lot of money. And I prepared for months of that. I got meat in the freezer and meals prepared and cooked the way my grandma taught me.
If there are no more questions, thank you so much for being here. And again, I just want to emphasize that other states have called for a state of emergency. The governor can also do so. We are sitting on a $14.6 billion surplus, and we have 1.4 million people that are about to run out of food. We can do something, and the governor should do something now. Thank you.